Hey y'all, Jamie, that's me here. Welcome back to the channel, honey. It's time for us to talk more about Love Island USA. Specifically, I do want to get into a piece of an interview that Olandria did with a Variety. I also want us to touch on Amaya's interview that she did with Call Her Daddy. And also, we have to get into the post that was made by Ace and Shelley. You guys know Ace and Shelley haven't really been out here much doing interviews or whatnot. They did do a few, I believe, before they left the villa, but they haven't really had any sit down interviews with anyone. I really am hoping that Shelley and Ace are going to head over to Keke Palmer's podcast. She is going to be interviewing someone. We don't know who. And being that we haven't seen Ace and Shelley on platforms just yet, aside from what they did inside, when they were still at the villa, or at least at Fiji, I want to believe that they're going to sit down with Keke, especially considering the fact that they haven't really been saying much online for real, aside from them dropping these statements. So if not Shelley and Ace, hopefully Shelley and Olandria. But either way, I do believe that Shelley will be one of the people sitting down with Keke Palmer. But that is just my opinion. That is not a fact until she announces what's going on. I do believe that interview is going to drop on July 22nd, and we will definitely be discussing that interview once it comes. All right. But first things first, I do want us to go ahead and get into a piece of Olandria's interview. And it's more so about her being a Black woman in this villa, in this experience, and what she's experienced inside and out. All right. So the interviewer says, as a viewer and a Black woman who has watched past seasons, Love Island has historically been a tough experience for women of color. How have you personally dealt with the microaggressions and racism that has come your way post show? Now, before we even get into it, I don't even know what Peacock can do a better job of, but I need them to figure that out when it comes to your Black ladies that you have on the show. All right. When it comes to, protecting them. I know when Huda had her crash out and everybody was on her head top and stuff, y'all put this cute little statement out saying how y'all don't condone everybody bashing and the hate comments and this, that, and the other. So I don't know what else y'all need to do. All right. To protect everybody as a whole. But y'all need to get that together, all right? But anywho, Olandria goes on to say, it's difficult, I'm not going to lie. I heard it was even a meme of me being George Floyd and Huda being an officer. They literally had put Huda's head or face on this officer as he's kneeling down on George Floyd's neck, where they also have Olandria's face. Are y'all okay? That is so problematic. I don't know. Y'all might have to get to a place where y'all like, listen, we about to cease filming. If you guys are gonna continue to operate and spew disrespect like this and racism, because y'all over there kicking people out for alleged racist comments that they've made and done, right? But then y'all don't say nothing on the outside when these people have to walk and step into this mess once they get outside. I feel like if you're gonna punish the cast members for what they said, I hate to say it, and I know a lot of people may not agree with me, you might have to punish the audience too from watching the show. So if it means that we will shut this down, if we continue to see said behavior the way that we have, then y'all might have to. Okay, full stop. But I know some people are not going to agree. So leave your thoughts and comments down below. But let's keep going. So she goes on to say that's a very touchy topic for the Black community. Exactly. It's disgusting to say the least. I don't understand how you take a love show and make such a comment like that. I was even getting death threats. My family was getting death threats. She says it shouldn't be like that at all. I just don't agree with it. It's very tough and unfortunate as a Black woman. All right. And we haven't even heard the stuff that the people have been sending the direction of Miss Shelley. Now, some of you guys may have seen it, but what I'm saying is I haven't even heard Shelley address or speak on the microaggressions and the racism that she's dealt with herself. So I believe we will soon. All right. She goes on to say, we feel like we can't truly speak our minds and express our feelings without being perceived as something different. 1000%. And I don't care how anybody shapes it. I feel like when you put said behavior on a person that is not black, they are 1000% going to get a completely different reaction than a woman that is black, and more specifically, a woman that is of darker complexion. 1000%. Okay? Period. And I know the people ready to get in the comments and say it's not about races. Now y'all love making everything about race. Well, first of all, okay, the founders of the country, so they say, honey, started this on race. So they embedded it into the history of America, and unfortunately, it will continue because it has spread across the damn world. All right. So if you ask me, racism is definitely much so in everything, as people are now coming out talking about even Chat GPT and how it's affecting poor black communities. Okay. So, girl, yeah, I said it. Race is in everything. Now, whether you choose to see it or not, it's on you. Okay. But let's keep going. So, she also says that I was everyone's go-to person, which is why you saw those tears when I was dumped from Casa Amor. They were saying she's the glue to this family. She always makes sure I feel seen, or she always validates my feelings. But I was not portrayed as that. I was portrayed as a mean girl. I don't necessarily feel like you were portrayed as a mean girl. People that were really watching the show, I feel like and also I feel like a lot of the islanders, before they do interviews, I do feel like they should watch a good jumble of the season instead of just edits to really get a full glimpse on how they were portrayed, because honestly I feel like a lot of these people just wanted to spew hate. A lot of hate was spewed based on the person that they liked, right? They had to make somebody else look super bad or this or that so that this person would be held up. Oh, Ace and Shelley scamming. They're scamming. They've been to each other. He was like a piece of whatever it was that people could do to discredit an islander in an effort to uphold the islander that they want to win. They did it, and they went to the extremes, even if it led to getting a person out of the villa for whatever reason. Like, these people is crazy. Okay. And that's where I'm like, Peacock and, ITV, Love Island, you guys got to figure out how involved will you allow the audience to be. I'm sorry. Okay. Definitely do your investigations on the front end. And I understand why they made the decisions they made this year. But if you do your full due diligence and people still dig up whatever, then you need to decide on how much weight you're going to allow them to have a decision on stuff. So I don't know. Y'all need to look at the producers, number one, need to add a bit more people of color, in my personal, black specifically. But in addition to that, right, y'all need to study while you're over here digging deep into people's backgrounds to make sure they don't have any problematic information. Y'all need to study the formula for season 6 versus season 7, because y'all don't ever need to repeat season 7 again. Okay, learn something from this. I've never had to yell at a production company like this. I was rooting for you. Okay, get it together. Anywho, so she says that, but she goes on to say she was not portrayed that way. I was portrayed as a mean girl. I'm like, how the hell did you paint me in this light? You have to go back and watch. Right? She says, I hate it, but I do appreciate many of my friends doing damage control and speaking up for my character. Okay. I feel like a lot of people would refer to her as being a mean girl when she was calling Huda to the damn carpet. Real talk. Okay. When it came to the Chris situation, like, okay, maybe she should not have said anything about the kiss. Right. But if you brought him there and Shelley knows, let Huda tell it that Chris was supposed to be there for her and Shelley. Why would you not let Shelley know about the kiss? Why would Shelley not know about it? Like, I don't know, something off about that. But anywho, I want to go back to a portion of what she said about her leaving Casa Amor and how the girls was crying. I mean, Huda bawling, just all over the place. Everybody's just so, upset. And I want us to tap into what Amaya Papaya said, because it seems like, she was, Olandria was such a strong support system for Amaya when she was in the villa.
We're
so let us
closest
get
with.
this.
I would have to say, me and Olandria have a great, great friendship. I remember, like, when the whole Ace Babe situation happened, I really did isolate myself. I was spending the whole day, like, crying. And she was really one of the main girls, just consoling in me and also making sure that my feelings were validated and I wasn't being, like, too much, So I would definitely say her.
Okay. Another thing I want us to tap into is her talking about Nick and Olandria and them, being a couple in the future.
Which couple has the best chance of making it in the outside world besides you and Brian?
I would have to say, Olandria and Nick.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. Because Iris and Pepe, I don't know, I like nothing against like their relationship. I love them together, but Olandria and Nick families spoke about cookouts already and inviting each other's over to their household. So I really do think that they're going to be a good couple.
So y'all just heard what Amaya said about them being a good couple, and I have to say, you know, even Pepe and Iris, more so Iris, came to the front and actually defended Nick Olandria. Okay. So a lot of people are believing it, and this isn't just coming from the fans that have been supporting them for a very long time, but it's coming from the people inside the villa that actually believes that it's something. Okay. So that's what they got going on. And it seems like she's warming up to him more and more and more. And good for her. Good for her. Now, this interview with Amaya that she did with Call Her Daddy, I thought that it was a pretty good interview for the most part. I do think that Amaya definitely took the high road. She didn't really blast out Huda as far as the heart rate challenge, right? She tried to give her a little grace, like she didn't want to throw salt on anybody, right? In this particular interview, she didn't want to throw salt on anyone, but she did say she understood Shelley's part in it. She also understood the fact that they're not open. So, hey, I'm sorry, you guys were open, not closed. So, hey, it kind of gives a little bit of free range, just a little bit. And my thing will always be like, girl, the song was off. Like Shelley said, the song went off and you still over there doing your thing. And then you get up there. Because even Amaya does kind of hint that she did a lot. She was like, she did her thing though. She did a lot, did her thing or whatever. So listen, we all know what's up. We all know that Huda did a lot. Huda got on that platform and lied and downplayed it. And I was on him for 2 seconds, just lying. And she really should have watched the show before she went up there doing any interviews. Really, a lot of them should have, in my personal. But I do want us to tap into their heart rate challenge. Oh, also, Amaya did say that she never knew that Huda called her a bitch and messy for going after Jeremiah. Now, Amaya says that she saw earlier on episodes, right? She didn't know how locked in those two really were. Because they aren't, again, they was locked in, but they weren't closed off. But she didn't know that, right? So at the end of the day, I do feel whether you knew that or not, Amaya, that was your job. You went in, you did your job, okay? That reaction wasn't warranted, period, okay? Especially for a person that loved Love Island, watched the show all the time, wanted to be on the show, manifested being on the show, and I want to act clueless about the job of a bombshell. You did your job. Okay, so she says that she did not know that, but after getting in the villa and seeing how they were, that's when she was like, okay, yeah, like that's your girl, y'all good. She didn't want to intrude on that any further than what she already did once she got her own view of what was happening between them. But she does kind of tap on this challenge, and that's what I want us to get into.
Down in the heart rate challenge.
Oh
Amaya. Everyone is like, did Huda take it too far? None of us were there. We couldn't see the angle. Do you think she took it too far with Ace?
I mean, listen, whenever we do challenges, we just really go all in. Like, we don't have a TV, we don't have our phones. This is our entertainment. Like, we're like, okay, we're in an amusement park. Let's just go for the ride. So, seriously. And listen, one thing about my girl is she's a great dancer. She knows how to, when she shakes that booty, it's an earthquake following through. So, I believe that she really just had fun and you lost in the moment, like lost in the sauce. Like she's just having fun,
Yeah. She's twerking. It's all going down.
I definitely don't think like she should have been like attacked or
because I think a lot
it's just a challenge. It's just a challenge.
It's just a challenge until is it not a challenge? What's happening? I think what happened, because you guys don't get to see the edits that we watch, was like she got on top of him. Mm-hmm. And then basically why there was this conspiracy theory was we see her flip around, her ass is in his face, and then the next shot it's cut and she's like getting up. So everyone is convinced that she put her ass in his face.
Dude.
Can you confirm or deny?
My mouth was to the floor watching the whole performance. I was also mesmerized by the booty. I was like, damn, there's a lot going on. I think it was definitely like a face down, ass up, jiggly, jiggly.
So she subtly confirms. I think what Amaya was going to say, I think she probably did put her ass in his face, but she caught herself. Right. But either way, she's trying to, be real demure in this interview.
Like,
do you think Shelley was in the right for being upset, or was it taken too far?
I would have to say I kind of a little like get Shuddy's point in a way, like, okay, I guess you guys are having the strongest connection currently. But since you guys aren't officially closed off yet, then it's like fair game.
Facts. Okay, I need to know, back to when I had asked you earlier, did you guys get to take shots? Is there music playing in this heart rate challenge, or is it dead fucking silent?
We listened to the same song for like,
no,
I think 2 to 3 times.
No.
Yeah.
Wait, can you play it for me and like sing it?
Girl, it was Nicki Minaj, Starships.
No.
Yes, let's shut this down.
Okay, wait, at least it's Nicki Minaj.
Yes.
I thought it was about to be fucking elevator music.
Oh, no. Oh my God.
So when I hear that it's Nicki Minaj's music playing, let me let
this
this play out.
that would have been so funny. I think I would have not been able to take it serious.
It's like do 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 do.
Okay, that's enough. So listen, when I hear that it's a Nicki Minaj's song playing in the background, y'all, as these people are dancing, I promise for me, it's just giving, listen, ain't nothing going on in Starships that y'all needed to be dancing the way that y'all was, girl. They could have gave y'all something else, okay? I don't know what else they could have given them a different Nicki Minaj song. Because I'm like, girl, y'all doing all this extra stuff on some Starships were meant to fly. Like, what? Granted, we didn't hear the music, but girl, y'all doing all of that? Kind of twerk, bounce, lick, all that to Starships. Girl, cut it. That's crazy. But okay, Amaya. Now, she does talk about her becoming America's favorite and how some of the Islanders responded to her after learning that she was America's favorite.
I feel like one of the things that was actually infuriating me personally was like seeing Zach literally tell you that he was basically like disturbed that you tried to kiss him.
Dude.
And like, honey.
Girl, I was so confused. Somebody find me a map because I'm lost. I was confused. He's a grown man. He couldn't tell me no. He kissed me. We were kissing back in Casa Amor.
You don't need to name names, but like, did you feel some of the women also kind of be a little bit nicer?
Some. Yeah.
Yeah. We don't need to throw shade, but like we watched everyone almost shift and kind of treat you really differently, Amaya. Like,
just like, okay, now you want to talk to me? Like,
period.
You grew up in Clarke. We didn't have no watches over there, but baby, I clock certain tea. And it's like, don't talk to me now.
Now, wait a minute. I think that may apply more so to the guys that might have wanted to be nice to you. And I don't even think it was really all the guys. Like, of course, Ace was shocked, right? And that was the whole point, was to gag the people when a lot of individuals voted for Amaya. But I don't think the ladies really needed to be nice because I felt like everybody else was already nice. Like, there weren't any issues. Like, Amaya came out being cool. Like, I believe she even said, her and Brian in an interview, that they don't have any beef for real with anyone. But I do believe she wants to clock Zach, and she also wants to clock Austin for a few things, because she did say that Austin was one of the fakest people in the villa. Hello? Okay, and I'm with her on that. Okay, so yeah, I don't know about that part. All right, but I also want her to speak on Sierra, because she does talk about that as well in the interview about her leaving. So let's touch on that real quick.
a huge moment this season was when Sierra abruptly left the villa.
Yeah.
Can you talk to me, just from your perspective as an Islander, what went down?
Dude, literally, we all started the morning together, and then out of nowhere, she did disappear, and we all were just asking, where was Sierra? I remember asking, I was like, do you guys know where Sierra went? And then same thing with Nick. I was like, Nick, like, where's Sierra? We all genuinely did not know. So we did not get the chance to say goodbye. We weren't able to see her pack her bags. It literally just happened in the flash of an eye. It felt like very unreal, like in a way. Like, what is going on?
Where were you guys when she clearly went and packed her bags?
We were all in a villa. Like, we literally were all just hanging out.
You were like outside?
Outside.
Okay.
And she was gone. Like, literally gone.
Now knowing, I have to ask, like, why she left, how do you feel about it?
I definitely do think words matter and everyone should be respected, you know? So, like, I just hope that, like, she learns from her consequences, which, you know, she is a grown woman. So, like, hopefully moving on forward, it's just like, this should not be repeated, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was already learning because she showed evidence, in my personal, of how the situation was already handled. Okay, so people were resurfacing a image of how she responded. Good thing I didn't say it in that way or whatever, as if she was being dismissive. And then she showed us the actual message that she had with the young lady for correcting her, appreciating that she did so, and she removed it from her vocabulary at that moment. And nobody else has found anything more recent than that text, or those DMs to say that she used it again after that. Right. And then I feel like that's part of a bit of shame on Love Island, just a little bit more, because I understand what she said and she needed to be removed and people felt like she needed to be removed. But also, not only did they not do their due diligence and the research on the front end, they also didn't do it on the back end to see that, you know, she's already addressed this, yada, 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 whatever the case was, however. Okay. But this is where we are. Okay, this is where we are with things, and Sierra seems to be in a much better place now. The next thing that I do want us to get into is Ace and Shelley coming to the front to share their thoughts about things. It's been some time, so let us go ahead and check out what they had to say. So Shelley starts the post out by saying, to my cherries, okay, and my support system. She says, from the bottom of my heart, thank you to those who've stood with me since the beginning, to my new fans, to every person, whether white, black, purple, yellow, who has shown nothing but love. Thank you to the women who look like me, who saw parts of themselves in me, who felt inspired or found a little more light and confidence through my journey. I see you, I feel you, and I love you. To the man or to the men who supported me and may have struggled with showing vulnerability, I see you too. You are valued, and your strength and softness matters. Okay. She goes on to say, to the people who use their platforms for not just a recap of the show, but to speak truthfully about the deeper realities Black women face, your words meant everything. You reminded the world that we are layered, emotional, complex, worthy, and real. Thank you for holding the line for truth with me and for me in times where hate seemed stronger than usual. She says, know that your love has towered over the hate. It's carried me, held me, and helped me find so much grace and happiness in my heart. Because of you, I never lost sight of who I am. I stand for love and peace, never hate. My time in the villa was one of the most beautiful experiences of my life. It wasn't always easy. There were plenty of roller coasters, lessons, and unspoken moments, but I wouldn't change a thing. It led me to someone I truly adore. For that alone, I'll always be grateful. Can I also say this before I move forward? I wonder if during the time that Shelley and Ace have been taking time off, not being on the internet as much, not doing interviews too much, I wonder if they've been watching the show. Now, it has been known now, after I did my video yesterday, that Shelley and Olandria have both unfollowed Huda. Now, I don't know if that was due to the bullying comment that she made, where she felt like she was being bullied, because for unfortunately, and I knew this was going to happen, she was going to get out of that villa and her fans were going to have her thinking that she was justified and in the right. The way that they were arguing with people online, I knew she was going to come out. And that sucks for her, because she's not learning any type of lesson, because all of her actions are being justified. Right. But all in all, I don't know if that's the true reason, or if they watched the season. If they've spent time watching the season, have saw things, learned things, and maybe decided to unfollow her because of that. Not so much as Olandria, but Shelley unfollowing her, right? Now, I'm also being told that Shelley blocked her. I don't know if that is confirmed to be true, but that is what people are saying. But Olandria has officially unfollowed her, which is really interesting considering the fact that once they got out of the villa, seems like all of the islanders, the finalists, were in an Airbnb together, and the way Huda just stayed up under Olandria, I was not expecting that, but something must have happened that led Olandria to say, girl, and I'm wondering what that something is, because it doesn't seem like she's watched the show yet. So maybe it's the fact that she's not really taking accountability and also saying that she was bullied by people. So, there's that. All right. But let us go on to get into more. All right. Let me make sure that okay. Yes. So I think that we got into all of that. All right. She goes on to say, I've never been angry with the world for having opinions. A lot occurred and went unseen, but understand that you're only seeing a glimpse, maybe 10 minutes out of my 24-hour day in Fiji. Even though many things were out of context, it could never stop me from expressing my love and gratitude towards all of you. I love y'all. Even the ones who may not love me back. How I see it, at the end of the day, I won. I know that's right, girl. I have my man, I have my circle, I have my peace, and I have you. So I won. She says, I just ask one favor, that my supporters turned family continue to spread love and not hate. Keep lifting each other up. Keep choosing compassion. That's how we change the world. Thank you for bearing with me during my little break, but we're so back, baby. Okay. With love always, Shelley with the cherry on top. All right. So that is what she says. And then she goes on to post images of the ones that she adore. All right. She and Ace. All right. Enjoying herself on the villa. She and Olandria. This bond, I love it. I love the click tightness of it all. All right. It seems like, listen, she done put everybody up here, and I'm not seeing y'all girl. I'm not seeing y'all girl in any of the photos. Okay. So it's very safe to say Shelley has drawn a line in the sand, and she does not rock with that young woman. And honestly, I feel like that line has been drawn in the sand for some time. So when everybody saw a reaction from Shelley, I do feel like it was more of a build up where she was just like over her, because that person is often unreasonable. Okay, because that's just how they operate. That's how they walk the land. They're an unreasonable person. Never fair. But let us go ahead and hop over, because I want us to get into Ace's post, who also, made post of he and Olandria. I thought this was a really nice picture, because seeing him in the pool holding on to her shows me the support and how he's holding her up during these rough times and people coming at her neck, and likely his as well. Okay. Now, Ace may have definitely done some things in the villa that I did not like, but I started to warm up more to Ace towards the end of the season. Not sure if he would have won, but they definitely should not have been eliminated when they did. And it just, girl, I'll never be over that. But we gonna move on. We gonna have to, okay? Because y'all having Pepe and Iris still around when they was in fourth place, and knowing they sat up there and pretty much took a spot, y'all needed a wow factor. And y'all damn sure got it. But let's keep going, because Ace makes this statement. He says, my Ace mob, family, and friends, a million thank yous would never be enough. But still, with love and grace, thank you. To every single one of you who stood by me throughout my time in the villa, who believed in me, supported me, and saw me for who I truly am, I appreciate you more than words can express. Before this experience, I built my name and my brand on spreading love, making sure people feel seen, and being a light in this world. That's always been my mission. In stepping into the villa, I made a promise to myself, no matter what came my way, I would stay real, stay grounded, and stay me. I fulfilled that promise to myself and then some. I celebrate myself often, because sometimes you have to be your own biggest cheerleader and also give yourself the flowers you deserve. And let me tell you, I'm gonna have to give him that. I feel like a lot of us navigate this world and we don't. We don't give ourselves our things, okay? And I need y'all to find every little small thing of that day to give yourself your things, okay? I used to be a person that didn't used to do that, all right? I even have to tell myself how much I love myself every day, okay? And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I don't care if you just waking up in the morning, okay? Praise yourself for that. Thank God for that. Whatever small wins you got, I don't care what it is. It could be just showing up. I like that he is his biggest cheerleader in that way, which allows him to walk around the way that he does with that mental. Like, you can't tell me nothing. Okay, you can't really tell me nothing. Like, I'm a leader, I have a strong voice, whatever it is. And that's a part that I can admire a bit of that, right? I think everybody could use a little bit of that. So going forward, as you're learning your lessons, make sure you learn to big yourself up. Okay, because everybody not gonna do it. Spend more time on the positives than the negatives. So he says this journey had its challenges emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. But even in those moments, I never let go of who I am. As a man, I think before I speak and always listen to my heart when it comes to my feelings and what I choose to express. I cannot allow society and the ways of the world to dictate who I deem to be. Okay, who I'm deemed to be. My time in Fiji has taught me that true strength is in honoring your feelings, your boundaries, your truth, even when it's misunderstood. Throughout this process, I never lost sight of God. I leaned on my faith every step of the way, and it carried me through. I know there are a lot of questions, and trust those answers will come with time. But right now, I just want this moment to be about the love I have for everyone out there. And since I know y'all are going to ask, yeah, I'm 6'5" after standing on all that business. Okay. He also goes on to say, the truth is, who I am in real life and who I may have been perceived to be on TV are two very different things. But one thing is for sure, I walked out of that villa a winner. I left with the most beautiful girl in the world, someone who truly means everything to me. And if I had to do it all again, I'd do it a billion times over. This chapter may be over, but the story is still being written. And I promise you, I'm just getting started. I stand for world peace, and you can't have peace without Ace. Oh, you ate. You ate. Okay, we see you. We see you. With love always. All right. So that is what Ace had to say, honey. And I am here for it. As I reflect on Ace, there was a clip that I saw where, and I could kind of like describe it for the most part because I don't know if I saved it. Um, Let me just double check to see if I may have saved it. But there was a post that was made. I'm going back to Amaya's interview that she did, and with call her daddy. It was a good interview. However, there was another video where they were looking down at the ground, and it was something like, oh, what are you doing down there? And when Alex Cooper, the host of that show, put it up, she put POV of us talking to Ace or something like that, talking to him like he's at the bottom and they're on the top. So I wasn't sure if that had something to do with Amaya winning the show overall, or if it had something to do with Ace's height, right? But the fans are not liking that from you, Amaya. Don't let nobody talk you and bait you into anything, ma'am, because you already see how the audience is. It don't take much for them to turn on you, okay? So don't let that lady try and bait you into all of that. She was already in her interview like, can you confirm Ace's height? And I'm like, one, I understand that they're going to ask questions about the other islanders because it's typically something that they do, right? But him being mentioned quite a few times in that interview, it's like, do you have a hard on for him? And are you asking these questions because he's not going to interview with you, or you have no desire to interview with him? Like, which, I don't know, because you could just ask him. But anywho, that's that. All right. I'll let you guys leave your thoughts and comments about that. I thought I had the video. I may have saved it somewhere else, but anywho, I feel like I've been rambling long enough. All right, just wanted to go ahead and give you guys a bit of updates. Hopefully after we get this interview with Keke Palmer and whoever she chooses to interview, hopefully that will be wrapping up the conversation of Love Island USA until we get to the reunion, honey. Okay, because we're gonna have to move on. I know a few of you guys are asking about Big Brother. Yes, I have started watching Big Brother, and let me tell y'all, girl, I ain't even finished. I'm halfway through the first episode, and when I tell y'all the second batch of people that went in, unless something else gonna happen, the second batch of people that went in, I said, oh, I think I like the second batch because you could tell it's some people in there that's gonna cut up. So, I think I might bring y'all a few reviews. You know what I'm saying? But you guys are gonna have to watch them because let me tell you, if the people is not tuning in, I'm wasting my time. Period. You guys was asking for it, so I'm trying to give you a little piece of what you want. But if you ain't gonna tune, then neither is I, right? But anywho, So that, and then what else? I feel like I got some other stuff coming up. Yes, I do need to get to Beyond the Villa. We are going to talk about that. And yeah, just make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Notification bells are on. And also make sure you're liking up this video. Okay. That's all that I have for you guys at this time. I thank you so much for tuning in. I am Jamie That's Me. You can find me on social media at Jamie That's Me. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
Tell him I preach to the choir. Stand with my feet to the fire. Give all the glory to God. Stand in the midst of these haters. I'm silent. Nobody can stop me. Just gotta check in my notification. Them numbers hit like it's a praxis. Cash died at the ATM. And the ATL, they done made a gym. I've been kicking doors like the ATF. Got them trying to clone